Hello there, Gabriella. Thank you so much for connecting with me. I'm very excited to help you find some answers. We're actually beginning with some oracle cards. This is the surrounding energy of things coming up, especially about work and finance. And you got Freyr, which is about abundance, which is about money flowing in. And we're going to find out what area. So there will be people making good money and being able to support themselves and a feeling of contentment and restfulness around money. Because as you know, money is an energy. So we have to be careful how we look at it. If we start to panic over it, and think it isn't available to us and it's something somebody else has and that it's hard to come by, we start to get a lack mentality. And as you know, when it comes to manifesting, that's the opposite of what we want. What we want is to always expect it's coming, to know it's always moving towards us, we'll always have enough. And it creates a backdrop of, a good, sustainable wealth in our family and life. And part of this is due to how we repel and attract things. So when we know that, there's always enough to go around and then excess, and that we're worthy of it. Because some people sometimes are set up for money blockages when they're young. They hear their parents say, oh, we can't afford this, or we can't go that, or we can't go there, or this is too expensive, things of that nature. What happens is we get this sort of blueprint in our mind that money is hard to come by, that money is something that's not always available. And that's simply not true. And in fact, this has changed deeply for me as well, because I used to work at certain companies where they just wouldn't give raises when they were supposed to. And I live in one of the most expensive cities there are around in this area. So I was always thinking, oh my gosh, I'm always going to live paycheck to paycheck and just pay this off and more bills come. And I used to have a lack mentality about money. And I'm serious that I would only have enough to just get by all the time. When I finally decided that enough is enough, that there is abundance out there, and that I have a lot of meaningful skill sets that I can put to use. And I did that, and I added value, serious value to my work. Therefore, the prices were accordance with that. I started to increase my wealth, and I started to be generous. When I was out, I would tip really well. I would buy nice gifts for people, because I always was working with a mindset that I have plenty and I always will. So if you start to think like that, it actually helps you become more abundant, feel the wealth. And, it is just one of those things. It's like where we sort of set our mind and we expect is what we get. I'm trying to get a nice glitter on your thing. I love this backdrop because it looks like moving water. I have a fan above it and it moves the sequence, and it looks really pretty. And also grace. This is moving through life knowing we're divinely protected, and that we will have what we need in this world, and that our guides are always there, our angels, and that we are definitely going to be looked after in that regard. So our last one, which I love, is the merciful one: compassion, release, and relief. To just act as if whatever we want is available to us and release it. Because another thing is people hang on way too tightly to what they're wishing for, and they don't have that healthy mode of detachment where they just allow for it to arrive. That happens often in love. People are like, oh, when is my soulmate coming? Oh, I'm never going to find love. Oh, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And they attach this kind of time stamp on it in desperation. What happens, it seems like it takes forever, or there's lots of conditions and restrictions and it takes longer to arrive. But when you have a beautiful release and detachment to it, things start to flow to you. You're telling the universe, your guides and angels, you trust them to deliver what they want. So have that all in mind when we begin. And I am going to give this a good shuffle. And we're first going to find out about Carlos, if he's going to find a job as a commercial pilot in an airline. That's interesting that you asked this, because my direct neighbor and one of my good friends when I first became a parent, wow, so he's got Judgment and Magician. So I definitely feel like the Magician is about your wishes coming true. It's like the Star card. You can create whatever you want, whatever kind of divine life and profession that you want, if you simply put your focus on there. I can never reiterate that strongly enough to clients and people that, where we put our energy is where we put our focus is where we get our results. When I want something, like say, I'm designing a new line of jewelry using jade, and I really want to get clients excited about it. I post, I put on social media, I do all kinds of designs, and I let everybody know about it. My focus is there. I'm thinking good thoughts about it, and I feel sort of like this is what Carlos is doing. He's really focusing on this and putting his energy towards it and directing it. And, you know, the universe, when they see that, they're saying, you know, he is really trying, he is going for it, he is focused on this, this is his dream. And they sort of bring this energy in and have this come about. I always feel like the magician is our natural, innate, personal magic that we create in our lives. You know, it's that kind of magic that happens in so many films, you know, where somebody all of a sudden, they live just say in like a poor area of Boston, or you know, a slum of India or South America, and they want to become like, they want to pass the law, and they have to really focus and gather money to be able to do this. It's like every feel good part of those movies where people really push and focus and they have a dream, or like that movie Fame, where they feel like it's fierce competition and they all want to be ballet dancers and rock stars and all this stuff. And you know, the few that push and are focused and dedicated become these famous entities because it was their focus. So I definitely see that coming true for him, because he's trying and focused. In fact, I feel like the energy was really good and light and connected as soon as I began this. So we're going to go on to your father, Carlos, if he will find a job with higher payment. I really, really like this. Okay, he got the Queen of Cups, which is really beautiful energy. That means a nice, even, a lovely yin energy, which is very giving and very loving, and other people feeling that energy and being connected to it and wanting to give you what you want because of that. And look, he has the Eight of Cups, as well as, wow, the Ace of Pentacles, which is excellent money and a money boon. Yeah, this is him putting his focus, his dedication into what he wants and finding the area that's good for him. And the Queen is about accepting things along the way and really looking for the best opportunities and the best conditions, and being comfortable with how things are going, so they're not pushing and they're not anxious and they're not overbearing to anybody else. They're just kind of smooth. They're smooth in their approach to things, so people find them very likable. And with this, the eights are moving towards a 10, which is sort of the culmination. 9 is right on the precipice of getting what you want, and 10 is receiving that. So 8 is him putting his focus in and really diving deep to achieve what he wants to achieve. And then beautiful Ace of Pentacles, new fresh energy, a gift from the universe, lots of abundance, lots of money. I had this feeling for all of you, because when you started with Freyr, which is about abundance, that's basically like the god of abundance, the Norse god of abundance. And it's really saying that, you know, we all have this potential to do amazing in life all the time. It's all where we put our focus and our mental aspect, and if we believe in ourselves and the confidence in what we're doing and how we behave with others to achieve that, you know, ethically, honestly. And I feel like your father is going to be doing that. So in moving forward, he's getting to his goal, which I absolutely love, and receiving this high paying job and it being very long lasting and him being very well respected, and, you know, life going smooth and things being really good, which I love. So yeah, have faith in that. I really love that. So we're going to go on now to you. Will Gabriella find a good job in the USA? You currently live in Peru. Wow, I love South America and South Americans. One of my favorite people that was an exchange student in my high school was actually, she was Brazilian, but I find just South Americans in general, and I realize you guys are all separate countries and you have separate cultures and differences, but every South American I've ever met has been so warm and such good workers and so dedicated and so full of life and vibrant, and just, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's almost like a just determination to succeed, to do, and this beautiful life force within them. Yeah, her name was Adeline, and I absolutely adored her. And then I also worked with some South Americans, and I swear they were the hardest working people. And I feel that, you know, you guys are going to do really, really well. I'm going to see what kind of job. I wonder, I'm glad you're coming over here. Let me know what part you're going to. Oh, look at this, 2 of Cups when you come here. It's amazing. 2 of Swords. You have lots of 2s here. Wow. Yeah, I feel like, look at this. So you have the 2 of Cups, which is an offer. I feel like when you get here, somebody in a high position is going to be here to help you. And they are also coming to, I feel like this has to do with your future husband. It's already skipping into, you know, your love read right away. So I'm first going to go over, I'm going to add another layer of cards for you, but I definitely feel like love is coming for you this year, and it's probably going to be in an 8-month time frame. So I'm actually going to do your love, a little bit of love right now, and then we'll get into the business, and then we'll go back to love, because they got my guides, and what I'm channeling right now is that you are going to meet your significant other, and they are going to be absolutely your dream man. They are going to be a businessman, a solid, honest person, not someone who's been married before or has children. They were focusing on their education and getting their degree, and now they've just stepped out into business and they're finding success. However, they would love a beautiful mate, and that is going to be you, and you're going to meet them. I love the Two of Cups. I find it even more proactive and connected than I do the Lovers card, because the Lovers can be everything, a love affair, just falling in love and have something brief. But the Two of Cups is an absolute beautiful connection where you meet on a soul level and you're divinely guided to one another, a soul mate. And I feel like this is going to happen within Eight of Wands definitely this year, because Eight of Wands is about passion. That's the passion card, and it's already moving. I feel like you're already setting the intention and the connection there. You're thinking about it. The surge of energy is out there for the connection, and it's going to come back to you. And right now you're in the Two of Swords moment where you're just deciding things and you're wondering and you're thinking. Oftentimes people think that's a conflicted or a heavier card. I just see that of being of two minds about something, hoping, wanting, and wishing, and then sometimes doubt creeping in, which always will when we have that big future picture in there. Oftentimes it is when people want to move or move, they think of leaving a relationship, things like that. It's like, of course we will overthink and go back and forth, but I definitely see this happening, and it would be a beautiful love connection. And yeah, they're very warm. I want to pull another card on what their personality is like. Page of Wands, yeah, and you'll be receiving messages, and you'll start to be feeling really good and elevated and happy. Oftentimes when our soul connections and divine other is coming in, we start to feel good. We start to feel really energetic. We start to feel elevated. We start to eat better. We start to think positively. We see things as opportunities instead of aggravation. We start to think well of ourselves and our accomplishments and what we look like and what we're doing. It's that sense of resurgence of confidence, because it's so strange how people react absolutely beautifully to confidence, because it's saying that, you are proud of who you are, you're proud of what you do, you're proud of where you're going in life. You come from the four corners of hail, which is honesty, authenticity, intellect, as well as integrity and love. And I feel like people can experience that through your energy. And people that sometimes have low self-esteem or are strange, people are a little apprehensive of that. But when we show, that we have courage in our life and we believe in who we are, other people do too, and it creates a sense of well-being. And also with that, we create healthy boundaries, and we know we're beautiful souls with a lot to give. And I feel like everything that you're thinking about and you're really focusing on and you want is going to come your way, because you are well intentioned and you want these things for a good reason, and you have a sense of purpose, and you're going to possess the determination and dedication to consciously really get out there and do what you want. And people with purpose are leaders, and when you couple that with compassion, they're teachers. So you have come to a point where you're definitely going to be able to demonstrate to yourself and others that you have what it takes to be in a great relationship. I want to see too what's going on in terms of this job over here too, because it's very exciting. Oh wow, you got the King of Cups when it comes to this job. I feel too that you're going to have a lovely mentor that's going to help you situate yourself in this job, perhaps a slightly older gentleman, that when you're going in and you're going on I call them meet and greets, and often over here it's weird. It used to be that you would go in for all these interviews, but now the process starts over computer, where you actually fill out an application and you just give your basic resume, and then they call you back. And that was one of the processes I absolutely hated when I was looking for jobs, because I have never not gotten a job that I went in person and interviewed for. There's something in person that your true self comes out, and people can read, and they can read your energy, your enthusiasm, who you are, that face to face. But on a computer I feel like it's so flat, so I didn't like that. But at any job that I applied for, I had already, previous qualifications. So I think in all of those, they called at least for the interview, and then I was able, I got the jobs through that way, going in and interviewing. And I feel like this individual is going to be high up in the company that you're going for, and they really like you, and they take a shine to you, and they want to help you move through and acclimate and fast track to really good pay, really good benefits. And I feel like things are going to come along for that. This whole read is about, I feel like it's your family's time to thrive and shine and feel wealth and abundance and achievement. And I'm really loving that energy for you. So we're also going to see, I want to quick find out what country in a description of your husband. I was already feeling like oh yeah, look, you got the romance card. When I was thinking of America, this came up. I feel like he's American, but he's I feel like he's Spanish American, that he has the background. I feel like he has different background, like perhaps Colombian or Argentinian, and mixed parents, that one of his parents is an American and maybe an Italian American. And so there's this lovely diversity, but that's also what connects you, is the fact that you have this shared background together too. So culturally you mesh beautifully. I feel like his family is really going to like you. Yeah, look, I have the Queen of Wands. I feel like you and his mother are going to get on really, really well, and that you're going to form a lovely alliance. And that's part of the thing too. I feel like he was extremely well brought up, and he's very respectful of women. He's very respectful of his mother, yet she's not overbearing or judgmental or critical. She just lets him be his own person. So whoever he chooses, she brings into the fold and is very caring and sharing with, and knowing that you're his future wife, she is very respectful and loving towards you, and you really feel a lovely alliance. There can't really be a better card for the mother of your intended than the Queen of Wands, because it's somebody who knows who they are, where they're going, is extremely helpful, and your connection to them, has passion for your continued family, and is protective of your relationship together, which I really love. But again, yeah, I feel that he was born here, so he has dual citizenship and is a registered American, which is really nice. I love the fact that you want to become a writer so much. I tell you, there's nothing more creative and wonderful. And one of my stepfather, and I have a few relatives, my uncle wrote a book on quite a few books on Native Americans, and my stepfather had written some books on animals. And I feel like I absolutely love anything that has to do with words and writing and descriptions and illustrating things and making things really pop and seem colorful. I love that. I definitely feel that you're going to be able to have breakthroughs with this. I'm going to stop and restart this real quick so I can upload it faster.